Alrighty folks, Puppy's World here once again. I'm gonna flip down our display here to show you what we're in. Today we're testing the Amazon Basics subwoofer cable at 25 feet specifically. And we're using a Dolby Atmos Deepwater Horizon Blu-ray. As you can see here, we've got our Dolby Atmos symbol on the back here, and we're going to test this subwoofer cable out. Now the counterpart we are replacing is technically an AudioQuest Sub 1 cable. And I've got my sort of cables I use on a regular basis just sitting here. They should be going under in the ottoman, but for now we're just going to take a look at this cable really quick, understand the fundamentals of it, and then we're going to look at the Amazon cable, and we're going to try and see if we can test it out. Now, we're going to be testing this cable out using a SVS PB1000, the ported version as opposed to the SB1000. This is a generic 10-inch subwoofer from SVS. However, one of their more basic designs that I truly take to the limits with me when watching movies with absolutely no distortion ever. I'm just going to quickly hit the lights really quick, and we're going to have a look at simply my existing configuration here, and we're just going to determine that basically my choice in paying, I believe it was exactly $2.04. I'd have to double check on my Amazon account here, and I haven't even taken the time to detangle the cord. I've just connected it on up, but I've determined I certainly have enough length for hiding the subwoofer cable at some point here. And I'm looking at things today going, I've really got to get going on my cable management, on getting a sleeve for them, or basically hiding those at some point here so we are aesthetically pleasing. Let's come around back with me, and I've got my subwoofer positioned here for movie watching so I can more or less adjust settings near my seating area and still be able to enjoy the film. Now, as I said, what we are replacing here is an AudioQuest Sub 1 cable. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and take the cable out of the subwoofer as it's powered without turning him off really quick. Otherwise, we're going to get that annoying low-frequency effect distortion going on when we get RCA jacks conducting all of a sudden. So I'm just going to pull this out. One thing I have to say right off the bat is it is extremely tight and fitting. When I connected this cable to the back of my receiver, as well as to the back of the subwoofer's RCA connection, this does give an extremely tight grip. Now, that's not a horrible thing. Well, it's not the best thing either, but in this situation I will say it's great, specifically for a $2 subwoofer cable. Now, all of them weren't $2. The 50-foot cable was about $10 if I'm not mistaken, and the 15-foot, 10-foot it could have been, I believe 10-foot, was about $1. So for $2, this subwoofer cable, as an add-on item, mind you, an add-on item in Amazon is usually a small item that they're packing along with some sort of purchase. So you cannot purchase this alone unless you are either paying a different price or purchasing other products along with this. So let's give it a try here. It's a 25-foot Amazon Basics subwoofer cable. I do like the coloring. The end RCA connection here, the terminal here, the termination, seems to be pretty tight. I mean, I can give this a little bit of pressure here, and it doesn't seem to loosen up in any way. So the cord, you know, the construction of it seems perfect. The cable of it's flexible, it's rubber. It is extremely easy to bend, as you can tell here. Oops, I have a hair there, but it's extremely soft. And I'm going to go ahead and plug it back in to my SVS here, and then we're going to go ahead and give the film a test in Dolby Atmos. As I said before, I like how the terminal has the gold or brass plating there, and it does match up with the RCA plugs on the subwoofer. So we're good here. And as I said, I'm going to be trying it with this SVS PB1000 powered subwoofer. However, to get a complete judgment on this cable, I would like to, and yes, my serial number is already registered with SVS, I would like to test it out with a Valadyne subwoofer as well. So we're going to give this a try. We're going to see what kind of sounds we get. Now, it's really a shame that you guys cannot hear low frequency effects or subwoofer sounds when you are playing back a YouTube video source. Now, I felt that pretty good. However, subwoofer isn't even on now, so I'm going to go ahead and bam, turn it on. I fooled you guys there, huh? So we're going to go ahead and see how that compares.
Mr. Williams, please rise.
Doing your downtime? I started working on that airboat again. Yeah? I'm upping it from 600 horsepower to 1200 horsepower. And I got me a little Sansonic prop off that Super Cub. Trying to make it fly? No, I just want to make it go faster.
Clear? Roger, got everyone. Bosco, I got the Deepwater Horizon coordinates in the FMS.
492, your tail is clear. Wind is calm. 21 is in use. October 297.
Control, this is Bristow 2 Bravo Golf. We're heading down into open ocean. ETA in 45 minutes to Deepwater Horizon.
Copy that. Bristow 2 Bravo Golf.
What is it you do at BP, Mr. Steps?
Completion. Oh, shit.
Now we have almost the exact same frequency response we would from the Subwoofer 1 Audio Quest cable. And at a later point here, I'm going to go ahead and swap it out with an acoustic research subwoofer cable, which is probably one of the most common that I've seen in households and home theaters in the last 10, 12 years. But just to give you an idea, and every sound effect that we were experiencing just there in the film could be felt 100% with the subwoofer. I know it's, the woofer is not excurting so much right now. We're not at the most bassy of scenes. You felt it, hon?
I felt it. I was laying with Pebbles in the other room. It
See,
shook my butt.
so she felt it. So we're getting decent, very, very decent power to it. I'd have to say, guys, I cannot absolutely 100% notice any bit of a difference from this very, very, very expensive AudioQuest Sub 1 subwoofer cable. I have swapped out my Boxer cable with him at some point. But to be totally 100% honest with you, the Boxer cable does not seem to make much of a difference over the Sub 1 cable at all, noticeably. The Boxer cable does have a little bit more of a frequency range it seems to deliver over a longer period. However, we're not talking length here. Now, one of the things I was worried about when buying a cheap subwoofer cable is any interference, any distortion, any sort of 60 hertz hum issue, any grounding issues, more or less RF interference, radio frequency interference. Most commonly, go ahead and turn her all the way up. I'm going to put her at her hardest strive here, so to speak. I love an 80 hertz roll at that low pass filter, but to be quite honest with you, there is absolutely no distortion, no sound whatsoever out of this subwoofer. She is completely 100% with volume all the way up. I wish you could feel that or hear that, guys, because it is absolutely amazing, giving the most power and punch out of it that it ever has. One thing I'm going to do really quick is I'm going to tweak her by not making her work so hard. And a way to do that with a subwoofer, and any subwoofer, is to just bring the frequency on up. Once you bring the frequency up, of course, the bass isn't going to be as deep or as low, hence the higher number of frequency here. But it's going to make the subwoofer probably act a little bit more aggressive here. So let's see how we get at full volume with him in this position, faced right near me here while I have the remote, watching the film at an intense action scene here. Now this is probably one of the most bass intense portions of the film or movie. So I want to give you an idea here of once we turn her up at a good 70 volume here, how this subwoofer is going to, oh my gosh, it's already too much for me. Okay, but even at this volume, guys, this subwoofer is absolutely rocking with this cable. 100%. It's very responsive, it's very detailed, it's very clear, and there are absolutely no audible distortion.
Slow it down. Slow it down, all right? Okay.
Alrighty. There we have it, folks. I think that is the genuine score I'd have to give it, being a 10 out of 10. I couldn't give this thing any less. The construction we went over was pretty good. The durability seemed decent of it. Quality in terms of audio signal pass-through capable. And in terms of being any different than a higher priced for a $2 cable as opposed to a $200 cable, absolutely the same. So, I think we're good. I think we have ourselves a brand new subwoofer cable that is long and probably one of the cheapest pieces of home theater equipment I have ever purchased in my lifetime. So, next up is going to be the Valadyne DPS 12-inch subwoofer test I do, which has a little bit more punch and power than this SVS. So I want to see how she does as well. And also, we've yet to hook up our Amazon Basics speaker wire at 16 gauge. We might end up going with a different set of speakers, but we'll try this in place of the AudioQuest. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching. I'll be back with much more. Please subscribe.